Hello and welcome to Photo Reviews. Today we will be taking a look at a comparison between two compact hatchbacks. One is the king of the compact hatchback segment, which is the Honda Fit, while the other one is an underrated and not so well known hatchback in the Kenyan market. This is the Suzuki Baleno. We will be comparing the 2015 models. The 2015 Baleno is actually the first generation that was in production from 2015 till 2022. So the 2015 models are the first Balenos to come into the Kenyan market. So this will be interesting because we will want to see if this car is good enough to divert people's attention from the well-established Honda Fit and even Mazda demio. So straight away, as usual, let's begin with the price. 2015 Suzuki Baleno is currently going for roughly around 1.5 million shillings. The starting price is around 1.4 million and it can go up to around 1.6 million depending on the mileage and trim level. This price is actually higher than that of the Honda Fit, which is between 1 million to around 1.35 million, again depending on the trim level and mileage. So when you look at the starting prices, the Suzuki Baleno is more expensive than the Fit by around 400,000 shillings. As we proceed, we will try and see if that 400,000 shillings difference is justified in the Suzuki Baleno. Let's now move on to the engine options. You can get the Baleno with two options, either a 1000cc 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine that produces around 110 horsepower or a 1200cc 4-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol engine that produces around 90 horsepower. So the smaller 1000cc 3-cylinder is more powerful due to the turbo. Something about these smaller engines is that they may not age that well because they tend to be overworked. A small engine being forced to produce more power will only result to wear or deterioration with time. Yes, it's powerful and fuel efficient as well, but in terms of long-term durability, they may not be the best. The 1200cc is slightly less powerful than the turbo variant, but it's just decent enough. Around town you would not feel the need for more power, but once you get out on the highway with 4 or 5 passengers in the car, you may begin to feel that the car is slightly underpowered, especially on inclines. But still, it's not too bad. The advantage of being a naturally aspirated engine is that it will be more reliable and durable than the 1000cc turbo. Now, the standard gearbox option is a 5-speed manual, so you can get both engine options with the standard 5-speed manual. There is also a 6-speed automatic that you can only get in some variants of the 1000cc 3-cylinder turbo. Then there's a CVT gearbox that you can only get in some variants of the 1200cc engine option. Moving on to the Honda Fit, there are 3 engine options, a 1300cc, a 1500cc and lastly a 1500cc hybrid. The 1300 and 1500cc come coupled to either a CVT gearbox or a 5 or 6-speed manual. The hybrid, on the other hand, only comes with a 7-speed DCT or dual clutch transmission. Now, these engines are decently powerful enough for both city runabouts as well as long distance drives. And as expected, the 1500cc is slightly more powerful than the 1300cc. Now, as I had said in an earlier video, the 7-speed DCT gearbox in the hybrid may not age so well because generally DCTs are complex in nature and they are normally not the best when it comes to reliability. They may have that sporty and engaging characteristic, but in the long run they are not so good compared to manual and automatic transmissions. So it's important to keep that in mind. In terms of fuel consumption, the 1000cc 3-cylinder turbo in the Baleno can achieve up to an impressive figure of around 22 km per liter, while the 1200cc can get around 21 km per liter depending on how you drive. So both engine options are very fuel efficient. Do note, however, that if you drive the turbo variant aggressively, its consumption figures may drop significantly. This is a common thing with turbocharged engines. They can be very fuel efficient if driven reasonably, but the moment you start being aggressive, then the turbo will give you more power and performance at the expense of fuel consumption. The 1300cc in the Fit can achieve up to around 20 km per liter, the 1500cc around 16 km per liter, and the hybrid around 30 km per liter, which is quite good. The Baleno has a 37-liter fuel tank while the Fit has a 40-liter tank. In terms of the brakes, both cars get ventilated discs at the front and drums at the back, but the Honda Fit RS variants get solid discs. For the ground clearance, the Baleno measures in at around 170mm, which is quite good because it's above the 165mm clearance, which is the recommended clearance here in Kenya. So you will not have to worry much about scratching the underside of the car. The Fit, on the other hand, measures in at between 135 to 150mm depending on the size of the stock rims, so it still falls below the recommended 165, and that means that you will have to be careful when going over big bumps. The carb weight of the Baleno falls between 865 to 1005 kgs, which is very light. In fact, you would expect it to even be heavier than the Honda Fit. The Fit, on the other hand, weighs in between 1020 to around 1080 kgs, but the hybrid is even heavier due to the batteries. It weighs in between 1080 to around 1230 kgs. Lastly, some of the extra features you can get in each car include projector headlights, alloy wheels, fog lights, navigation, automatic AC, and keyless entry and go. In addition to this, the Honda Fit RS variants can also come with a body kit, an upgraded suspension for better handling, and a rear spoiler. So they don't offer so much, but that is expected because these are basic and affordable cars. So with all that out of the way, let's now quickly talk about their exteriors and interiors. Let me know in the comment section which one looks better exterior wise. I think they both look good, but I would prefer the Baleno in terms of the exterior design. Something to take note of about these two hatchbacks is that in terms of length, the Baleno is longer than the Fit, but in terms of the wheelbase, the Fit is longer than the Baleno. This means that theoretically the Fit should be more spacious in the interior, and it actually is because of that long wheelbase. The longer a car's wheelbase, the more the interior space. Honda really knows how to make their vehicles spacious and practical. The Fit is more spacious both in terms of the passenger space and the boot. Its boot measures in at around 470 liters, while that of the Baleno measures in at around 355 liters. The magic seats in the Fit also means that you can carry more bulky luggage than in the Suzuki Baleno. So in terms of practicality, the Fit is the clear winner. Comfort-wise, both are decent enough. So now, which one will be the most ideal option to go for? Both are very fuel efficient and reliable, but they part ways when it comes to the space and price. The Baleno is roughly around 400,000 shillings more expensive than the Fit. So the question is this: is that 400,000 justified? I don't think so, because the Baleno is less spacious and it also doesn't offer more features than the Honda Fit. So ideally the Fit would make more sense because it's more affordable, more spacious, its hybrid powertrain is more fuel efficient, and it will even have slightly better resale value than the Baleno. The Fit has constantly had a high demand, and this has made even the locally used ones to really maintain a high percentage of their value, and that's why it has a higher resale value compared to the uncommon Baleno. Now, that said, the Baleno is a good car, especially if you prefer something less common. It's very reliable, especially the 1200cc naturally aspirated engine option. It may not be very spacious, but it's still decently spacious enough for a small family. So in a nutshell, both cars are good, but the Fit makes more sense, while the Baleno is still a good option, especially for those who prefer less common vehicles. Though the Baleno is slightly more expensive than the other compact hatchbacks. Do let me know which one you will go for between these two cars. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars and bikes. Also use the details in the description box to support the production of this content by donating. Your support will be much appreciated. If you have any inquiries, feel free to reach me via email or WhatsApp. That's it for this episode. Stay safe. See you in the next one.